As you can see, I'm sitting in the back of my car. No, I'm not homeless. There's a reason I'm here. Let me backtrack. For the past, if I say a few days, I would be a liar. For the past, since the beginning of the year, I can't even lie. Since the beginning of the year, I've been dealing with all types of hurt. Right? What? Christians hurt? I thought they always like blessed and highly favored. I am blessed. I am highly favored. But I am human and I feel human emotions. Even Jesus wept. So excuse me if I shed a little trickle, you know? But, but yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of hurt. I've dealt with bitterness. I've dealt with heartbreak. I've dealt with sadness. I've dealt with anger. Anger towards humans and anger towards God. What? You're angry with God? How? I mean, it's possible, right? Dealing with anger and all these different things, so many emotions, all just one worse than the other. And it's been a long run. But one thing that's been a big pain point is seeing the grace I give to other people and seeing that they don't give it back. See, a little bit about me is that, let me give you a little backtrack on my testimony. When I first started my walk, first of all, I was the biggest crash out you could have ever met. I was the crash out that would let their emotions pile up and then explode. I was always angry. I was always ready to be set off. I was bad, right? But God met me when I realized that my salvation prayer was not cute. It was not an altar call. My salvation prayer was, I don't want to die, but I can't keep living like this. So even though I didn't see you when I needed you, if you want me, show up. I was dealing with panic attacks, anxiety attacks. I was dealing with anger and frustrations of every single kind. I was dealing with sins that would not ease up. I was dealing. I was struggling. I was dying internally, quite honestly. And I prayed to God in those moments. And God, from there, has been walking with me. He unpacked my heart and showed me each emotion and showed me how to process them. He showed me that they were all valid, but they all needed to be submitted. Right? And that was 3 years ago. So we're 3 years into the walk. And one of the things that God did for me is that because I didn't want to live no more, God gave me a promise to live for. I didn't want to live no more, but I didn't want anyone to deal with the same hurt and pain that I was dealing with, right? A pain that made me feel like I couldn't breathe anymore. So God said, if you continue to walk with me, I promise to give purpose to your pain. And I continue to walk, like I said, for 3 years in. But as much as I have a heart for people, people suck. Oh! People suck. And I keep on running into this thing where, because God has showed me how to regulate my emotions, and because God has given me the ability to, He has blessed me with enough trauma in order to deal with traumatic situations and deal with it with Him in mind, people automatically assume that I'm going to do the perfect thing the first time. And when they see a little bit of human show up, oh my gosh, nah, Kim can't be human. She has to be a bot. This is not Google. This is not Google. You can't give me a prompt and then in 2.5 seconds I have an answer. No. People don't realize, even when I'm dealing with my own emotions, when they see me move in obedience, they're like, wow, if it was me, I would have crashed out. Little did they know, I did crash out. But I crashed out in God's presence, yelled, was angry with him and everything like that, laid all my emotions down, said, let thy will be done, not mine. And then I addressed the situation. But because people don't see me addressing the emotions, they think that obedience is her first response. And it's my first response is to obey. Don't get me wrong. My heart chooses obedience. Hey, I'm talking. You hear that? Crazy. My heart chooses obedience. But it wasn't a natural inclination to do so, right? My natural inclination is always to choose emotion. So it was always a struggle at first, but I choose obedience because I know obedience is not just better than sacrifice. Obedience itself is a sacrifice. It's one of the ultimate sacrifices, to obey, to say, God, this is my mind, my will, my emotions, and I'm going to lay it down and give you what you desire because I trust you over me. I trust your plan over mine, right? But because of people don't see that aspect of my life, right? The way I operate in high stress situations is that I'm going to do the logical thing and deal with my emotions later. So because people only see the logical aspects and very few people, I have a very close-knit system of individuals who I go to and they pray with me and everything. So not everyone gets to see me processing my emotions because that's dangerous. If everyone gets to see me processing my emotions, that means that everyone has access to me in a vulnerable, broken state. And not everyone has the best intentions. So God has given me chosen people that I can go to when I'm feeling a certain type of way. But because most people don't see me in the state where they only see me when I'm back together and I'm doing what God wants me to, they always expect perfection. And I'm here to break that. I am not perfect. I've never pretended to be perfect. Hey, bruh. I be talking to God, be like, hey, bro. Like, who says hey, bro to God? The whole creator of the universe. I have never been perfect. I ain't even trying to be funny. I have never been perfect. But I feel like people have this ideology that because I process things the godly way, that's the way that I always operate. And I pray so. But that's not the case. So recently, these past few months, one thing I've been dealing with is the fact that when other people fall short, God has taught me to make excuses in order to help me forgive. Let me correct how I'm saying it, right? Excuses being that I understand that this is not how this person's supposed to act. But when I put in perspective their pain, it allows me to realize that, hey, I was hurt once too. And when I was hurt, I operated as a hurt person. So I'm not going to get mad at a person who broke their leg for limping. So therefore, I'm not going to get mad at this person who's obviously hurt for hurting. It doesn't justify their action, but it does explain it. And the explanation helps me forgive. But I keep on running into situations where I do this, right, for everyone else. And then when it's my turn and I take longer than usual to process something, or I cry for longer than I usually do. Usually I guess I'm only permitted 30 minutes to cry over a situation that breaks my heart or something. I don't know. But when I go for longer, people get confused. I know I have to deal with my emotions, but you do this. This is your job. So why is it taking you longer to recover? And the same grace that I give people, they don't give back. So God promised to give purpose to my pain, but what happens when your purpose is also bringing you pain? Where your heart for people is also causing you to get hurt. And I sat there and I realized that recently I haven't been processing the emotions. I've been giving God my yes and my obedience, but I haven't dealt with the emotions surrounding it. In the past month or two, I've had my heart completely shattered by a friend, not a relationship, by a friend. I've felt betrayal. I've felt discord in so many different aspects. I've had my heart teetering on so many different levels, but my obedience always came first. I live by the law, obey now, cry later. And that's what I've been doing. But instead of crying later, I keep on pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. And now they're piling up. And last night I had a dream. Well, technically it was this morning. I had a dream and I saw the product of the fallout from me acting on my unregulated emotions. And it scared me, right? When you've been hurt as many times as I have, and as frequently as I have, on all fronts, like I'm fighting a battle on all fronts. I'm not going to go into specifics in this video, but I'm fighting a battle on all fronts. And when you've been hurt the way I have, it's just like, hey, bro. There's a lot of ammo to blow up. I'm going to just say there's a lot of ammo in all directions. And yeah, when I saw this fallout from me acting on unregulated emotions, it scared me. And I woke up and I went straight to my knees and I talked to God. And he put a picture of this place where it's kind of like my secret place. Every time I'm having a bad day or anything, I come here and I sit here and I talk to God. So he brought me here. And I've had to realize that when I think of my purpose, I always think of it as something, oh, yay, I get to help people. But then I forget that people come with hurt. People come with imperfections, right? So I think about it like Abraham walking up that hill with Isaac. That Isaac was a promise, right? Isaac was a promise. Isaac was the fulfillment of the promise. Isaac was the channel in which God was going to use to fulfill the promise that he gave Abraham. So killing Isaac would probably be one of Abraham's biggest pains. But Abraham still laid him on the altar. And what I've realized is that although I've been moving in obedience, I'm getting up to the altar and I'm not laying it down. So I talked to God this morning and I'm laying it down because I can't function like this. I'm human. And humans get hurt, humans get betrayed, humans everything. But it says that his strength is made perfect in my weakness. So, hey, bro, I'm just letting you know, the weakest of them all. I'm the runt, for real. And yeah, I promised myself that when it came to creating or doing social media, I wouldn't sit and pretend. I wouldn't sit and have a facade up. But I would be real and honest. And being a Christian means that you have to be obedient. Obedience is better than sacrifice because obedience is one of the ultimate sacrifices. When Jesus was about to go up to the cross, he said, can this cup pass over? When he was in the garden, can this cup pass over me? But then he said, but not my will, but yours be done. Obedience is the biggest sacrifice. It's putting everything in perspective and saying, no matter what, your plan is better than mine. And I'll obey you. But obedience hurt. Obedience is hard. Yeah. Obedience is difficult. God says love. It says love is patience, which means that love is going to test your patience. Like, love is kind, which means that love is going to test how kind you can be. Love does not hold record of wrong, which means that there's going to be a lot of people who wrong you. Are you going to make sure that you don't hold it in your heart, right? It says above every gifting, above everything, that you should. Love is the most important. That 3 things last forever: faith, hope, and love is the most important of them all. So, yes, as a Christian, I struggle with unregulated emotions. Judge me if you want, but only God can check me. Because people be saying, only God can judge me. They don't realize that judgment is like the part I never do you. No, y'all could judge me. Y'all could judge me, but only God can convict me. Only God can check me. Who gonna check me? Oh, okay. But yeah, that's what I'm dealing with today. That's the topic of the day. I might even post it today too. But yeah. I hope that helps somebody not feel isolated or alone. I'm not here to trauma dump, but I'm here to talk about just the realities of it. And yeah, obedience is better than sacrifice, 100%. But obedience itself is a sacrifice. And when you're called to a life, mind you, I know I'm rambling, but this is the last point. Mind you, the reason that I obey God is not because I want anything out of it. It's not because I want to get to heaven. That's kind of with the program. Like, salvation kind of ensured that, right? But the reason I obey God is because no one could have done what he did for me. I do it out of gratitude. I serve God out of gratitude, not out of obligation, right? I serve him because when my heart was a dark hole that I couldn't even see the bottom of, a dark pit, he said, we're going to rebuild this from the ground up. And he did. And a heart that was numb and refused to respond to any human interactions or emotions was able to beat, and beat so vibrantly that other people can feel it. That's why I serve God. So let's cast down this perfectionism ideology, because no, and let's really cling to God, right? And let's cling to him in obedience. I'm going to go back and read about Abraham, and I'm going to go back and read about Moses, who was dealing with emotions but still went and was obedient, right? I'm going to go back and read about Saul, where obedience is better than sacrifice kind of came from, right? I'm going to go back and read and remember that obedience is a sacrifice, but it's a sacrifice I'm worth giving. But I will not just be obedient, but I'll also lay everything else on the altar. Not just my will, but my mind, heart, and emotions. So that's it. That's the end of the video. I haven't posted on YouTube in a while. So, hey guys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Love you. Bye.